Hello, my name is Ken Fanger with On Technology Partners, Technology Risk Management. And today I want to talk about something that people ask me, which is, how do I determine risk and how does it affect my company? So the first thing I want to start with is, you want to ask yourself two questions about any situation. The first is, what is the chance of a bad outcome? The second is, what will that bad outcome cost me? To help people understand what I'm talking about, I use two examples. I call it the Godzilla and the raindrop. If you're in Tokyo and Godzilla shows up, odds are that all of your customers are going to run out of town and you end up with a giant footprint in your storefront. But the chance of Godzilla showing up is pretty low. Now, if you are a raindrop, the odds of getting hit at some point in your life is pretty good. But the effect of getting hit by one raindrop is very minimal. So you'll notice on this chart what we're talking about is the chance of an event and its cost. The higher you are on the chance and its cost, the more you should spend to protect yourself. If you live in a place that floods often, you want to make sure that you have flood insurance. If you're in a place that doesn't flood often, you don't want to live in a place that you don't want to spend money on flood insurance. It's important to realize what risks you're facing. I want to tell you a story about two companies and the risks they face to kind of help you understand. One is a retail store, the other one is a consulting firm. The retail store has a risk that customers are going to steal their product. They spend money to protect themselves. The odds of customers stealing from a consulting firm is pretty low. They don't spend money on protecting against that. But the converse of that, if they lose employees, the consulting firm has a high risk. They might have very expensive employees to do their consulting services. A lot of retail firms feel that they can change their employees very easily. So it's important to see that risk is very unique to your organization. And I want to tell you one last story, because it actually shows how risk changes. I used to tell a story about when I was young, and I had gone out to Kalida, which is a small town in western Ohio, and my uncle had taken me to the store. We had got out of the car, I locked the door and closed it, because I came from Cleveland. He turned to me, absolutely flabbergasted, and said, "Did you just lock my car?" I said, "Well, yes." He said, "I left my keys in the car." Of course, I felt terrible. But for me, you always lock your car. Well, I went back and I told my uncle about this story that I shared in my presentations. And he said, tragically, in Kalida now, they are starting to have car theft. So he can no longer leave his keys in the car. You can see risks change over time. They're not consistent. And it's important to keep looking at what risk is out there. If you'd like to learn more about technology risk management and risk, join us at www.ontechpartners.com and have a safe and wonderful day.